As a long-time series veteran since Battlefield 2, I, of course, have played nearly almost every title in the Battlefield franchise, even including Battlefield playing for free, which was pretty whack, but it's done for now. Last year, I reviewed the spin-off, Battlefield Hardline. This year, it's only right for me to review the newest advancement in the series, Battlefield 1. What's going on, y'all? It's the Real Deal Dude, and welcome to my Real Deal review of Battlefield 1.
Wilson said I was a no-good, lying son of a bitch. I brought him home because I think he's probably right. And I hate that fact more than I can tell you.
Campaign and time period. Battlefield 1 takes the franchise back to not World War II, but to World War I. There aren't many games that take place in World War I other than Verdun, likely because of how that war was mostly trench warfare. BF1 focuses on the battles that weren't merely trench-based, showing off the introduction of planes, tanks, airships, trains, boats, and cars being used in combat. Now, to embrace the beginning of this period, we need a nice campaign to play, in which DICE gave us 6 mini campaigns called War Stories. There are a good variety of the types of stories you'll play in them. For instance, you have one centered around planes and air combat, one with tank combat, a fully armored sentry suit, invasions, and stealth. And I'm happy to say that most of these are actually pretty good. My favorite war story is the air combat one called Friends in High Places, which has an ending that will leave you thinking afterwards when you're done. And when you're done with most of these stories, you get a sense of emotion of how brutal that war was and the sacrifices that were made.
We have taken objective Charlie.
Multiplayer. The reason we all play the Battlefield franchise, the wide-scale, vehicular-based, intense conquest battles are certainly here to stay as always, and is what I would say the most intense battles of any of the past entries. I am also glad to see that DICE has also taken suggestions from the closed alpha and made Conquest closer to what it used to be in, with longer matches and ticket improvements. Along with Conquest, we have returning modes such as Rush, Team Deathmatch, and Domination. We also have 2 new modes as well. One is called Operations, which is literally frontline combat in Battlefield's epic skill and takes place on actual historic battles. You have an attacking team and a defending team, similar to Rush, where the attackers have to capture sectors in order to move on to the next one and drive the defending forces out of the actual map onto a whole different map. Attackers have 3 battalions, or waves, which consist of 150 tickets. So this gives Battlefield 1 an even more sense of teamwork that's needed here than in any other mode. If they run out, they'll respawn with a behemoth like an airship, train, or battleship to tell the defenders that it's time to GTFO of the map and retreat. These are by far the most intense battles of any Battlefield series. My favorite part of Battlefield 1. Well, another of my favorites of Battlefield 1, but I'll get into that later. And it is welcome to come back in any other installment. But be warned though, some of these matches can take like an hour long, so if you got time, make sure you watch out on that. The other new game mode is War Pigeon, which where you take a pigeon, write a note on it, and send it off for artillery. That's basically it. The guns in the game aren't just bolt action rifles like you may expect since it's World War I, but we have a lot of automatics in the game as well. More than expected, to be honest. They all work as you would expect, but some actually kind of overheat now, so you probably should keep first firing to avoid that. Mixing with the bolt actions and semis, the gunplay is actually pretty well balanced and it shouldn't make anyone rage like that. Vehicular combat is the same and slightly different this time, as you have early planes that can be shot out of the air with normal guns, tanks that can't turn the turrets all the way around, and torpedo boats that are somewhat useless in the game, since I feel that they're only there to take out the Dreadnought battleship, which is only on 2 maps. It's only 2 maps that involve sea combat. Tanks transport up to 6 people, and as you expected, they are pretty powerful. But of course, my favorite vehicle to use is the attack plane, along with the tank hunter package, and which for me isn't just for tanks. The graphics, yeah, they're absolutely the best in Star Wars Battlefront. You already know this, just look at it. You can see where the mud gets on your gun, the rain, when you shoot it on the ground, the arrows shake, and animations in it, they're just amazing and so immersive. My real favorite thing about Battlefield 1 is that the destruction is finally, truly back to where it's above Bad Company 2's levels of destruction. Individual parts and floors of buildings can be destroyed. Whole stories of buildings can come down, and of course, the whole doggone thing can just come down on you. Combined with the intensiveness of everything happening around you, the map can go from looking like this to looking like this. I applaud DICE on this because this cannot be avoided. You can't avoid the destruction in this game. You're going to see buildings come down, okay? And it's beautiful. So thank you for listening, DICE. Now we have the cons. So I know it sounds like nothing is absolutely wrong with the game, and that's kind of mostly true. But unlike Battlefield 4, you know, where it was broken on launch day, but you know, we already know that story. But not every game is perfect. There are some UI bugs, and the pause menu takes like 20 seconds to pull up, at least on console. I'm pretty sure on PC you guys don't have this problem because y'all know you have SSDs and everything. The boats, yep, they're useless. Don't only use them if you're trying to take out a dreadnought. That's it. I've crashed a few times while loading into games. You know, I'm pretty sure PC players have had this problem as well. But console, it happens. War stories could have been longer and could have built more character and emotion. So like, the campaign only takes like 5 hours. And you know, Battlefield campaigns are known for being short. Other than the Bad Company 2 one, that was actually kind of long, but I digress. Yeah, they could have been longer. And yeah, I would have loved another type of Titan game mode where we have to board and destroy the behemoth like the Dreadnought or Zeppelin. You know, I think that would have been very nice. How come Titanfall 2 doesn't have a season pass this time, but Battlefield 1 still does? Like, come on, EA. Like, a lot more people will stick with the game because of that. If you don't have a season pass, like, look at Rainbow Six. Look at a game that you just put out yesterday, okay? And people are receiving that pretty well. So, of course, the Battlefield community wouldn't love that. And did I mention that there are still bugs from Battlefield 3 in Battlefield 1 now? 5 years later, however long, since 2011, and DICE still hasn't fixed them? I don't know, it's gotta be with the engine. So, oh well, we all gotta fix that. Cause it's been too long we've had that bug. Should've been fixed in Battlefield 4. Really, but nothing was fixed in Battlefield 4 till like 2015, but I digress. Let's move on. Out of all the pros and cons I've mentioned on Battlefield 1, I feel like it is a no-brainer to call this game the real deal. That is absolutely worth the $60 price tag. Even from a non-series veteran's point of view, this is a shooter that everybody should be playing. Because, you know, another shooter likes to be boring. But we ain't gonna talk about that one. I feel like that is the best multiplayer experience that I've had this year so far. Probably not just so far, but it will likely stay that way. Do you like Battlefield 1? Tell me your thoughts on this one in the comment section below, because I would really like to read them. If you enjoyed my review of Battlefield 1, hit the like button below and show your support. If you want to see more Battlefield content and other content from me in the future, hit the subscribe button and the notification button so YouTube will snitch on me whenever I upload. Until next time though, peace out.